welcome to another episode of Auto Eats and Beats. We're back for our, sixth episode?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting there. Things are a little busy right now with,
Classes.
school. Yeah, classes are amping up, getting a little crazy. So this episode may be a little shorter, and we do apologize. However, we have something special coming up very soon. From our last episode, our guest Jonathan and I went and we also did a little walk around of the BMW. If you haven't already seen that podcast, go check it out. And we'll post sometime within the next few days. We'll also be posting the video where we kind of talk about the BMW and give you some of the specs on it, and it's really cool. So we'll post that as well, especially if this is going to be a shorter episode. But to kick off today, I think we both wanted to talk about the
Ferrari.
Yeah, the F80.
11 years since they made one.
Yeah, it's been a little while. So let's hit some intro music and then dive deep into that, because that might be a bit that we might be on that for a little while. So let's hit some intro music. Let's just dive in, I guess. The F80. What do you think about it?
It's pretty nice. 1,200 horsepower, V6 hybrid. It's like designed off of like a Formula 1 car. I mean, it looks really nice.
The only issue that I have with this, it's really great in a lot of ways. There are two issues. I say the only. There are two issues that I have with it, okay?
Uh-huh.
One is not necessarily with the car. It's more with Ferrari, the brand, okay? So the first issue, which is with the car, is it does not sound anything like a Ferrari should. It just doesn't. It doesn't even really have any sort of sound.
It probably has to do with like it being based off of like a Formula 1 car.
Yeah,
and
but I mean,
the hybrid part.
At that point, just make a Formula 1 car.
Because I think there's like a lot. There's like a few. Has like a few like electrical engines like here and there in the back, so it's really more of like an electrical car.
But I mean, if you take the the Aston Martin Valkyrie, right? The Valkyrie is a phenomenal car, and it sounds amazing, and it's based very similarly on the F1 styles. But it has just this powerful sound to it. The F80 doesn't have that at all. It kind of sounds pitiful. I'm not gonna lie. It's not really that great in all honesty.
More on the electrical side, really.
Which is where I have the issue with it, because I mean,
it doesn't look like a Ferrari, really. It just looks like
it doesn't look like a Ferrari, and that's where my second.
It looks more futuristic of being like an electrical car than being a Ferrari.
I have no problem with futuristic looks to cars. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there are a lot of cars, a lot of brands are really diving into that look, and I like that a lot. The issue that I have is Enzo Ferrari is the one that says, and I'm paraphrasing, that the brands, the engineers that worry about, aerodynamics are the ones who don't know how to make a good engine, a strong engine. And the entire thing about the F80 is that it is supposed to be aerodynamic.
Yeah.
That is their big take on it. It's all about aerodynamics. They didn't even really focus on the engine in their little commercial when they were releasing it. And
that's what I was supposed
to do. That kind of takes away from the Ferrari tradition of, Ferrari has always been about the engine. They've always been about, the power, the speed, and without having to dive into aerodynamics too much. I mean, obviously every car has some sort of aerodynamics, right? and they focused some on it, but that wasn't their main focus. Now that's their main focus, and it doesn't sound as good. It looks cool, but I mean, that's pretty much all it has going for it. It looks cool.
I know some of the features of the car is like 3D printed
Yeah.
metals, which is pretty nice. But other than that, I mean, I like it and then I don't like it. I mean, I don't like the way it looks a little bit. It doesn't.
I think it looks cool. I just don't like the aspect that it's Ferrari making that. Now, if Ferrari said, hey, look, this was going to be, just something that we're just playing around with. This is just an idea. This is a concept. That's completely fine, and I would have loved it. But since they actually produced it and they're saying, hey, look, this is the F80. This is what we're making now. It's really? I mean, come on. But I guess the, 299 people or whoever have it, I guess they'll still have fun with it either way.
Yeah, you said that you didn't like how Ferrari made it. Who do you think would made something like that then?
Oh, gosh. I think companies that would make something like that would be, I would say that look is closer to something...
Like a Lucid, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it really looks...
Like that square, rectangular body look?
Yeah, I think so. I think it looks much more like an electric vehicle than anything. And I don't know. I think the electric look is cool for the most part when it comes to supercars. But I don't think they're getting quite what they could out of it,
Yeah, they only made, I think, 800 maybe of them. So it's not really a lot of them being made. But
yeah, I don't know.
Still also $3.1 million.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. But I mean, if at that point, if you're gonna get that, okay, would you rather have that or, compare it against their Ferrari, LaFerrari?
I'll take that.
I would take the LaFerrari a million times over. I mean, it's a much superior car. It sounds better. It looks better. I don't know how they drive. I mean, I'm sure both drive.
They look good on the racetrack.
Well. Yeah,
but it was during the rain, so I was
it was, and that's even better. If it can handle well during the rain, but it doesn't have if you watch the videos where it's going by on the racetrack.
Yeah,
it wasn't able to give that feeling. You can see, if you ever watch a race, you can see when they take the cars around, you can see how the stadium, the people that are watching, how the bleachers, and they just kind of rattle, they just kind of shake as the cars go by. And that's kind of the feeling that you want to have from a supercar. You want it to just rumble the ground around it. This, the F80 doesn't have that at all. I mean, it's so quiet, and it's not really like a Ferrari.
It's just probably something for them to just throw out there, something that they can just throw out there, hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to say, hey, look, we can stay in the world of electronic.
I don't think they have been working on it for 11 years since it's been a while. I just feel like they just said maybe we need to make a new F80 to see what happens.
I feel like they're just making this, to be honest, just to be, in competition with the hybrid, with the new electric vehicles rolling in, killing the world of cars. I feel like they're just trying to stick with that.
Yeah, that's what I feel like it was leaning to the more I looked at it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have ups and downs with it. For the most part, they're probably, I would have to say, down. Just not a big fan of it. But that's not to say that Ferrari doesn't make great vehicles. Most of their vehicles are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
It's just this one was a disappointment. And I think we saw the same thing with the new McLaren, the 1 Series that they had. The W1. That was just kind of a letdown compared to their former vehicles. I mean, we talked about the F1 and the P1 that McLaren made were honestly better than the W1. Not saying that the W1 is not a great car, and not saying that the F80 is not a great car. They are, but they're just not good in comparison to their predecessors, which is sad. You only expect car brands to be able to elevate their vehicles when they make them. When they make a new vehicle, you expect it to be better than the last. And they're just starting to decline. And that's where I think the issue starts to fall in. It's because they're all starting to decline. They're not rising up. So I don't know. I think the overall quality, everything's starting to go down in the quality of the vehicles as well. But, I mean, we'll see, I guess. We'll see what happens later on.
But a lot more people are trying to lean on to the electrical cars rather than just keeping it gasoline.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. I mean, look, the electric, so I drove a Tesla for the first time Saturday. Okay, there are ups and downs to Teslas. I think it's awesome how quickly it could accelerate. I mean,
the outside is like charging. Like, who wants to wait like 15, 20 minutes
well,
for a charge?
If you get beyond that, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, electric vehicles are in the short term, they can be better for the environment. In the long term, that's a good debate because, you know, it takes fossil fuels and oil and things like that to be able to create these cars to begin with and to create the energy that they're using.
Yeah.
So it's not really like people, so when you get into the environmental side of it, it's kind of iffy, right? But if you look at its specs, they can hold quite a bit of charge, right? They can go
Fast.
a couple hundred miles, and they're extremely fast. They are ridiculously fast. When I was driving the other day, we were able to get up to 60 within a couple seconds, and we were up to 80 within another half a second, quarter of a second. So they are extremely fast, okay? Now, the issue is...
That's a speeding ticket right there, man. Being up to 80. I don't know the roads around here, man. No. You said that.
On a track.
Okay.
On a track, okay? I never... No.
I say you gotta specify that.
On a track. But that's where they come in with issues, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you get into them on a track like that, and you're getting up to 80, you're getting up into racing ranges, you know? You're out. Now, granted, this was a track that, you know, it wasn't an official track. It was something that a friend had made on their farm, okay? So it wasn't the best. But when you go out and you take it and you're trying the handling, you're seeing, okay, how much oversteer and understeer does this have? You know, how is all of this going to work? That's when you get into quite a few issues. Because when you're coming around the corner, it's so heavy. Those electric vehicles are so stinking heavy that you can't turn. Like, it takes so much force to be able to turn. And I'm not saying force is in, like, you know, no power steering fluid, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, the car is accelerating and you can't turn any way. You can't move because it's too heavy to be able to handle going around corners, to be able to handle, you know, all of that. There's not really understeer or oversteer because it just can't get around the corner to begin with.
Yeah.
So you can't even see, like, you have to slow down so much to be able to get around the corner. It's kind of crazy. And then by that point, you lose time, and then you're losing to your components. So that's where there's quite a few issues when it gets into taking it on a track. And there are several other things, you know, you have to set
a lot
up.
of people just drag race it like straightaways instead of just put on a track.
Exactly. But it's like you have to go through and set up every single little setting to be able to get it to where you can race with it.
Yeah.
To be able to actually drive it. Not just like commuting, but I mean like a drive. Because they're set up, the electric vehicles, most electric vehicles, Tesla especially, is set up to where your accelerator, your gas, when you hit that, when you let off of it, it automatically brakes for you.
Yeah.
which can be cool because, you know, it can take that energy and reuse it and save it and things like that, and that's great. But you're also, like, you can't control things. I mean, when you're racing and you let off the gas, you don't necessarily want to
You don't necessarily want to brake.
stop. Yeah, you're not braking, right?
Mhm.
Or you will hit the gas and you'll hit the brakes as well so you can go around. I mean, that's, you know, just typical racing standards, maneuvering. And so there are those issues when it comes into the electric vehicles like that. So I don't know. I think they're cool. Electric vehicles are really cool. But I think they're lacking in a lot of areas that they don't have to be lacking, because there's so many things that we already know.
Yeah.
Like, we know, you know, how gasoline vehicles work, and now that electric vehicles are out, we know how they work. So we should understand how to build a motor or engine, whether it be electric or not, that can handle those kinds of maneuvers, that can handle all of that. And you should be able to build some sort of a way to make it lighter is really the biggest thing. Just make them lighter. But I don't know. Overall, I would say electric vehicles suck, because they do. In all honesty, they're terrible vehicles.
It's made for straightaways.
They're not really great for the environment. They're not really great for driving.
Just like a city car, really.
Yeah, that's all they're good for, is driving in the city. Yeah, I'll admit. Like, if you're just commuting back and forth to work and you only have like a 45-minute commute,
Yeah.
they're perfect for that. They really are. But anything else, I mean, I would much rather drive a gasoline vehicle, you know? I mean, what happens if a power grid goes out?
Exactly.
You're done. You're toast. There are ways to override power grids with, and I get a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you still have to pay for your gas, you know? And if the power goes out,
What if I have gasoline in my back of my trunk?
there are ways to override all of that. All you have to do is simply get cash, you know?
That's why it's always good to keep cash on you.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. There's quite a few things that it's kind of crazy and a little difficult to just consider and
Yeah.
use when it comes to electric vehicles. I'm not a big fan. I wasn't too impressed. The only thing I was impressed by was the acceleration, but
Oh, yeah.
I mean, was I really that impressed? Because, you know, you have literally a supercar can do the same thing, and heck, most standard vehicles can do the same thing or close to it. And how often, okay, so we said I was on the track, right? How often am I going to go from 0 to 80 on a road? I'm not.
Exactly.
Ever. That will never happen.
Unless a tornado's behind you or something like an
Yeah,
average. That's
I mean,
not happening.
if something wild, there are exceptions to everything.
Yeah.
But how often would that happen?
Not a lot.
Almost never. Almost never. So if that's the case, why wouldn't you want just a vehicle that drives well? You know, something that I don't know. I can't get into the whole electric vehicle thing. I'm just not a fan. I don't like them. They also handle, like, my buddy who I was driving with, as we were going around, there was a turn that we were going around, and we talked about the steering and stuff already.
Yeah.
But the one thing that it felt like, so, you know, this Lincoln kind of feels a little more like a muscle car because it has a V8 or a truck, you know, because it's a little bit bigger, it's a little heavier. That's just how it
You can
handles.
feel the engine, like you can
Yeah.
feel like right
Yeah,
beneath your feet.
it handles like a tuned down muscle car or a pickup, okay? And a sports car, you know, like my girlfriend has a Nissan Altima. Not the greatest cars, but it handles much like a sports car. You know, it has that kind of zippiness, and it handles really quickly and smoothly. You know, that's how it is. Teslas feel like, and I would assume most electric vehicles feel like this, but the Tesla feels like a minivan because it's heavy but it doesn't have that power to feel like an SUV or a pickup, you know, and it's not light enough to feel like a sports car. So it quite literally feels like you have a loaded up minivan. That's what it feels like, and I don't like that.
I kind of like want to see what the Dodge Charger is. The Charger that's electric now,
I don't even
or
know.
the Challenger. Either one. I just want to see what it feels like to be electric.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't even like. I'm to the point where I am so tired of seeing electric cars. Just that's all you start to see now. Yeah, I don't even care about looking at that anymore. You know. So I don't know.
Should make people want to go back to being in gasoline cars. Simple.
That's what I drive. Gasoline, and I mean even diesel. Diesel's great. Diesel's really great for fuel economy. I mean, you want something that has good fuel economy. Most diesels, obviously, you know, some pickups are going to be ridiculous, but that's because they're pickup trucks, right?
Yeah.
But like if you get a sedan, like Mercedes makes several diesel versions of their E-Class, and I'm not sure if their S-Class is diesel as well. I know they used to. So they're great fuel economy. They get great, like just absolutely wonderful. So I don't know why somebody wouldn't rather drive that's more luxurious than a Tesla or, you know, any sort of electric vehicle. And I don't mean to just hate on Tesla. I would like to distribute my hate equally for all electric vehicles, you know? I don't know. I think it's a little crazy. So, but back to the F80. I think they have a lot of potential. I think just like McLaren, Ferrari has let us down. I think Porsche, out of the three top car brands, is the only brand to have not let us down, that reached the standards with their supercar that they made. I think they're really the only one that was able to handle it. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what Ferrari can actually do with this and what McLaren actually does with it. And yeah, we'll have some pictures up of the
F80.
F80. If you're listening, you can go check it out. We'll have pictures on our Instagram as well that we'll put up if you're just listening. But if you're watching, we'll have them up for you guys to look at. Somewhere we may have already had them up. But yeah, I don't know. All right, we went and ate at Macado's the other day.
I like the wings, man. Was it Thursdays and Sundays? The wings are like what, 25 cents, I think.
I don't even know what day it was.
Yeah, it was Thursday.
Yeah, I had their. Oh, what was it that I ate?
Yeah,
I had
it
that
was some special burger.
Oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. It was like the best burger ever. It had bacon and I don't know what it had on it. It had so many different things on it.
Honey barbecue wings.
It was giant.
Honey barbecue wings are the best.
Yeah,
With the garlic parmesan, I think.
I don't know. I think the best wings that I've ever had were bourbon wings.
I never had bourbon wings.
Oh my gosh, they were phenomenal.
Like, are they boneless wings or like?
Oh no, I don't. I typically don't eat boneless wings. All of mine are like wings. You know?
I mean, I like both of them. Don't get me wrong. I like Chinese, Chinese wings. When you go to a Chinese place, they have wings. The wings are really good. What would you say is like the best place to get wings?
To get wings?
Yes.
I don't know. I would say that, you know, Big Daddy's was a great place, but they're closed now. Oh gosh.
Instead of being like in one spot since one Farmville, you know, we got to try to open it up like.
Okay, so
overall.
just all over?
Yeah, all over.
Okay, so there's some good mom and pop shops, obviously. Like everywhere you go, you're gonna find some sort of great mom and pop shop that has better wings than, you know, your generalized restaurants.
Yeah.
But since you know, I haven't really been, and I'm not as familiar with wings as much as I am like barbecue and just chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to say and go with the generalized option. People might be a little mad at this, but Buffalo Wild Wings. I know that that's like a simple answer, but they have really great wings. And I mean, they have a lot of different options too, so it's easy for them to have good wings. The other place that's beginning to become more popular is Slim Chickens. And I don't know if there's a Slim Chickens here or not, or even anywhere here around Virginia.
I don't think I've ever heard about that.
We've got two or three of them back home in Kentucky, where I'm from, in Bowling Green. So Slim Chickens is phenomenal. They have some great wings. I don't know. They've got a lot of great chicken anyways. It's a very southern chicken place. I mean, that's all they do is fried chicken, and it's awesome. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. What would you say?
I'll say Buffalo Wild Wings is good. I like it. Yeah, like you said, they got like a wide variety of wings. But for me right now, Macado's, I'll take Macado's over Buffalo Wild Wings right now. I mean, you can't go wrong with some boneless, 25, 50 cent wings. Get 20 of them for like $6, $7. That's good. And they don't really count, so they just give you extra for real.
Yeah.
So that was a little steal.
I don't know. I don't know if I would like Macado's or Buffalo Wild Wings better.
We're out there go one day, just buy some Buffalo Wild Wings and some Macado's, sit down, have a little comparison.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Got to be on Thursday. It has to be on a Thursday though, because that's when
we
you
get the whatever 20 or 39-cent wings or whatever they are.
Yeah, or we could do it on a Sunday. It all depends.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
That's a little deal.
And we'll do a review for you guys. Yeah, that'd be fun. But okay, I have to say one thing. Macado's, okay, surprises me every single time. So they have a ginormous menu. Like, they have way too many things on the menu, okay? Anytime you go to a restaurant where they have 1,000,001 things on the menu, you automatically just sit there and go, they don't do really a good job of cooking, because it's like anybody that has all of that, they're probably not cooking all of that, and so they're probably not going to do a great job, right?
Yeah.
Macado's has some of the top tier, like they're phenomenal, and I guess we're giving them free publicity, I don't know, but they have great sandwiches, and just everything that they have is phenomenal. I've not had a meal yet, and I get something different. I mean, every time we go, I have something different pretty much. They for them having a menu that has like 50 items on it, it's phenomenal. Every single item is just great, and they're constantly throwing in and having like 5 or 6 different specials every single season. Like for Halloween, they have several specials and things like that. So I don't know. I think they're great.
What you got was like on the Halloween menu.
Yeah. So it's like, but I mean, typically when you see something that, you go to a restaurant, they have a whole bunch of different items on their menu. You go, really? Mm-hmm. Like, is my food gonna taste all right? If I order something that's not common, that not everybody else orders, will it come out decent, or do I just need to go somewhere else to get that? But they do such a good job. So I don't know. I like it a lot. I had some sort of club I think it was like the Jazz Club sandwich, and it was like turkey. It was some sort of turkey sandwich, and it was so good. I don't remember when I had that like a couple weeks ago, and it was, oh my gosh, it was great.
Yeah, speaking of sandwiches, we have a Jersey Mike's here in the Subway. What would you say is better?
Ooh, okay, I will have to go with Jersey Mike's from now on, because not all Subways are bad, but there was an incident with the Subway back home, and we could get into that later on. On another.
I mean, we went to Subway here was it last year?
Yeah.
We like the subs. It was good subs.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go with Jersey Mike's.
Okay.
Because I've had an issue with Subway, so I'm kind of boycotting Subway for a little while because of an incident that happened. But yeah, we might have to get into that another time. But out of all of those, out of those, I think there's another option that's better than both of those.
What, this here?
No, not that's here, but out of your main
Yeah.
places. And I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this. I think Jimmy John's is better than both of those.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I ever had Jimmy John's.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We've
like,
got to get you.
I don't
Jimmy
care.
John's.
I would
Jimmy
rather
John's
take
is
Subway over
phenomenal.
Jimmy John's.
Really?
Subway is just right there in my face. I see how the
No.
person makes like an extra extra.
Oh, that's how Jimmy
I've never been
John's
to Jimmy
is.
John's.
That's how Jimmy John's is. Okay.
I'll take Subway just because I've always been a Subway.
Oh,
I had Jersey Mike's a
love
few times, and I
Jimmy
like Jersey
John's.
Mike's, but Subway's just my go-to.
No, Jimmy John's is so much
I
better.
can find a Subway in the middle of nowhere, and it tastes good. Speaking of food, saw that thing about McDonald's. That you call that thing in Colorado, where like I think a few people died.
Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's why I'm not eating McDonald's for a little minute. The crazy thing is, me and Tyler, like right before that happened, me and Tyler ate McDonald's the night before. Woke up, Tyler showed me that. I said, "Dang, I hope we don't die, because I don't want to die yet."
I honestly don't remember the last time I had McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's. I don't
I don't
like
have a-
McDonald's.
We ate McDonald's. I think the first podcast.
Yeah. I guess that was the last time I ate McDonald's.
Wait, was it the first podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to see.
No, that was a test run.
Yeah, that was a test run. Yeah.
Yeah,
We had
so on our
McDonald's.
pilot episode that will probably never be released, we went and got McDonald's. That would be the last time I ate McDonald's. And I didn't like it then either.
Yeah, I don't know what I forgot what you got.
Uh,
I think you got like a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit.
yeah, I guess, something like that. I don't even remember. I know it did not taste good.
I don't have a problem with McDonald's. McDonald's never did me wrong, except for one time. I think it was last year around Christmas.
McDonald's are always so disgusting. I mean, you walk in and they're just
I like
dirty,
fries.
they're trashy, they have no care in the world for sanitation. They never wear gloves.
So it
cooks never
depends on
wear
who the workers are, man.
hairnets. The workers are almost always disgusting and terrible. I don't like McDonald's at all. I don't know. The only reason that I go to McDonald's is if I'm traveling and it's like at a gas station, it's the only place to go, and I don't want to have to stop again. Or if it's to get a drink.
You can always just
Because
get the fries.
Getting a drink.
You can get large fry McDonald's and a sweet tea or large Sprite, no ice.
Okay,
Perfect.
their Sprite, I'll give them that. Their Sprite is like, I don't know if they put crack cocaine in it or what.
Sprite is amazing.
Their Sprite is phenomenal.
Makes me feel my soul. I like it.
Somebody probably needs to go and check and see because they've got to have some sort of drugs in
That's
that.
like the strongest Sprite I ever had. Like,
It's so good,
you can
though.
go to Walmart, Food Line, buy some Sprite. It's not gonna be that strong.
It's so good.
So carbonated.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with their Sprite, but I love their Sprite. What else is there that they have that's
Their
if
nuggets are hit or miss.
okay, if their machine is working, they used to have great McFlurries.
I get a strawberry banana smoothie every time.
Really?
Never goes wrong.
See, I'm not a big smoothie person. I'd rather have a milkshake.
I like that strawberry banana, man.
Alright, so let's debate. Milkshakes, smoothies.
Smoothies all day.
Why?
Strawberry banana. Like I'm not good at I don't eat ice cream a lot,
Okay,
so I don't really like smoothies. I mean, not smoothies, but McFlurries or whatever.
milkshake?
Milkshakes, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
When's the last time
See, I love milkshakes and I love ice cream.
ain't that what you get, like a cherry wine float?
Yes,
Yes.
cheerwine
Cherry wine
float.
float?
Yes, that or some sort of milkshake. I always get something with ice cream
Well,
because
I
ice
can't
cream
say-
is amazing.
I can't say I don't like milkshakes because every time I go to Cookout, I get a milkshake. The only time I get a milkshake is when I go to Cookout because Cookout has a wide variety of milkshakes and machine is always open. It's always working. So I
Yeah.
like their milkshakes. If I'm going somewhere else, I'm getting a smoothie. Strawberry, banana, you gotta have it. Like that's a classical smoothie to have.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't know. I really like the milkshakes better than I do the smoothies. I just think they
What's
taste
your favorite
better.
sweets, dude?
Sweets?
Yeah, like you had to go ice cream or cake or just both.
Ice cream. I mean, okay, both, obviously, always. But if I had to choose between one or the other,
Mhm.
ice cream. All day, every day. Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. I'm a pound cake type of guy.
Really?
I like some red velvet too.
I like pound cake. I like
Red velvet
red velvet.
just.
Okay, when it comes to cake, my favorite is cherry chip cake.
I never heard that.
I will fight till the end. Cherry chip cake.
I've never
is
heard of
the
that.
best.
I've never even seen it. Never tasted it.
It's phenomenal. It's the best cake in the face of the earth, and I will die fighting saying that.
And it said cherry chip cake,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
All right. So enough about ice cream and
Foods.
our favorite foods. There's a big thing back to the Ferrari, and this is more of a music thing than Ferrari. There was a picture that Eric Clapton posted on Instagram, and it just filled my heart with joy because Eric Clapton is one of, if not my favorite musician. He's my favorite musician.
I was wondering why I kept seeing him on your phone just now.
Yeah, and so we will try to put the picture on Instagram. We'll repost or share the post in our story. So he posted a picture decked out in his Ferrari gear. He had a Ferrari hat and stuff, and he was with Robert Plant. For those who don't know, please understand that I will let this go as long as you don't tell me that you don't know, because otherwise I might actually lose my mind. Robert Plant is the lead singer for Led Zeppelin. Okay? Led Zeppelin is, the greatest rock band to have ever been. And we can argue that at any time. I would love to. Anybody that wants to argue that, let me know, and you can hop on the podcast. We'll have you on and we'll debate it. We'll spend a full hour or 3 hours. I do not care. I will argue that forever and ever. But either way, they were at Robert Plant and Eric Clapton. They both attended the Formula One Grand Prix at Bahrain International Circuit, and I think that's such a cool thing, seeing some of the world's greatest musicians also diving into the world of cars, because you don't really see that too often. So I think that's pretty cool, and it just makes me very happy because, well, it's my favorite musicians, and, diving into some of the greatest car brands in the world, obviously supporting Ferrari, and Ferrari is undoubtedly one of the best car brands in the world. I'm not going to say they're the best. They're not necessarily my favorite,
what's your
but
favorite
they
car
are
brand?
great. My favorite is Aston Martin.
Yeah.
All the way, every day.
Would you say
We've talked
Lincoln's
about
next?
this. To what?
Would you say Lincoln's next?
No, I would probably say Porsche, and then Mercedes, and then I would go with, after that, I would go with Ferrari. I don't know. I really like, there are several other brands. I like Ditmaso, and I don't know, I like several. BMW is really awesome. I would say Lincoln is a great, modern, just drive around type vehicle.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to, dream cars
Like
and
a smooth,
favorites, I think
smooth ride.
for a smooth ride, it would have to be between Lincoln and Cadillac.
Okay.
I mean, the reason why I say that is because Lincoln, Cadillac, and Mercedes, because Mercedes make luxurious, the S-Class is really nice, and it's affordable too. So those three are luxurious and affordable. When you get into Bentleys and Rolls-Royce, they're great vehicles, great car brands. I love them a lot, I really do, but they're not worth it. I mean, they're just not. They're not affordable. You can get the same thing from a Lincoln or a Cadillac or a Mercedes than you could a Bentley or a Rolls-Royce. And when you get into the upper dollar stuff, I would much rather have a Mercedes Maybach than a Rolls-Royce, because it's just, the Maybach's going to be a nicer vehicle and faster.
Yeah.
And, it has not just the luxury aspect, but it's also has the sportiness and the muscle, So I like that. So I would have to go with the Lincoln and Mercedes and Cadillac for that. I don't know, honestly, out of the three, I like the most. I really don't. I mean, I drive Lincoln. I've driven Mercedes. My brother drives Mercedes, and he absolutely loves his Mercedes. My mom's driven a Mercedes. Actually, her current car is Mercedes. They're fairly affordable. My brother is, he's younger than me, 3 years younger. So obviously, if he can afford it, then, if he can afford to drive a Mercedes, then it can't be too bad.
Yeah.
Granted, his is a little older, but it's still affordable. So, I don't know. I would like to try driving Cadillac. I've driven a Cadillac once, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I would like to drive it, try driving some of the different models. I'd love to drive this, the CTS. I think that would be really cool. Any of the CT series. They're nice vehicles. So, I don't know. I think it just depends. So, yeah, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, man.
All right.
Gotta do these papers.
Yep. All right, folks. Ciao. Adios. We will... I don't know. We'll see you guys next week, I guess. Let us know in the comments if you think the Ferrari F80 is better or worse than the Ferrari LaFerrari. Yeah, just let us know which Ferrari you would rather have, the F80 or the LaFerrari. Sweet. Ciao.
See y'all, peoples.